What is up, comrades? All of our comrades, the dudes and dudettes. And a special shout out today for a special yo to all of our Semites out there.
Yo,
Semites, what's up? Today's episode is brought to you by the left testicle. Obviously the better of the two testicles.
That's right.
If you're going to hang one way, you should hang left.
Hang left. Let's get t-shirts that say hang left.
Hang left. with a picture of just testicles. All right, we got a lot to go over today. The main topic of today is going to be the NRA and some of the recent happenings with that, and go into a little bit of the history of what some may refer to as the largest, most powerful domestic terrorist organization in this country.
Oh.
So that's not to be, too... what do I want to say? Hyperbolic about it, but fuck the NRA.
Yeah. What don't you like about them?
Oh, there's so much.
Let's get into
There's
it.
so much. But before we get into it,
Okay.
yeah, sorry. I guess I should have gone over the. So I'm introducing a new segment, and Casey's just learning about this just now. But I'm introducing a new segment, and I'd like to. The name of this segment is, "We're really stupid," and we're sorry about that, and we're gonna do better. Or it's kind of a long segment name, so I'm just gonna call it corrections. We've had a couple things said, especially in the last episode, and I'm starting to go back and listen and try to correct myself on things that I say that are incorrect, because unlike the Trump administration, I actually care about facts and
Right.
getting things right. So a couple things. I believe that I had said that Mary Antoinette died at 19 years old yesterday, or last time. And that's not correct. She died at 37. She was beheaded at 37, but she became queen at 19. So she was 19 years old when she became queen.
You little sweetie. That's not even modern culture, but you still care.
Yeah, we care here. And then I said something about, I think I said North Carolina when I was referring to Obama coming out of the woodworks to convince Buttigieg and Klobuchar to drop out, which gave Biden the win. I said that was before North Carolina, and I meant South Carolina, and I also meant that happened the day before Super Tuesday, not the day before South Carolina. So a couple corrections there.
Okay.
And then I also said Cory Booker when I was talking about the Amy McGrath race, the primary that would be going up against Mitch McConnell. I said Cory Booker, and I meant Charles Booker.
Good, because I wasn't sure I loved Cory Booker. And
no, fuck Cory Booker.
Yeah, because he's turned on some things I wanted to say something else. Well, maybe James has reasons, and we never got into it. But
no, I meant Charles Booker. Charles Booker is an amazing person, great progressive, has an amazing platform, and definitely would have beat Mitch McConnell. Well, not definitely, but would have had a better shot than Amy McGrath.
So did you go through? Are you just being nice and not going through any of my corrections? Because that's going to kill another half hour, I'm sure.
These are just the things that I've noticed, and I didn't notice anything from you.
I'm sure.
Not to say that it doesn't.
I'm
exist.
sure they're in there.
Yeah. And here's another thing that I'm going to ask our listeners and our watchers, for people watching the live stream. Call us out. Give us a comment if it's happening live, or even if it's after the fact and you're sitting around. If we say something that's blatantly wrong, throw us a correction, and we'll go ahead and give you a shout out during this segment, and make sure that you get credit for making us smarter.
Yeah, we want to learn here, man.
Yeah.
I've already learned so much.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, this has been great. But it doesn't do us justice, or anybody who doesn't know that we're wrong. It doesn't do anybody justice to let us continue being wrong. So, let's really bolster this this feeling of knowledge and facts. Let's really just empower ourselves with that. So.
Yeah, we're going to soon have a call-in thing, and we're going to have guests. We're still just kind of doing this for a bit, but that's coming.
Yes. So stick with us, folks. We're getting better. We're learning, and we're going to have guests on who are much smarter than we are. So, all right. So after that's now that that's out of the way, before we jump into the main topic, I wanted to go through a couple things. And I think that you've got a couple things to note too.
Yeah.
So first of all, today is the 75th anniversary of the terrorist attack on Hiroshima.
Oh, wow, really?
Yep. So 75 years.
Dang.
And countless deaths. And I literally mean countless, because it is impossible to know the exact devastation that we wrought upon the Japanese people.
Yeah.
I mean, much like any other like nuclear incident, it's not just the initial blast; it's the radiation and exposure to that high levels of radiation that permeates through the generations.
Yeah. Are they? Well, I totally lost my train of thought. Sorry. Oh yeah. So were we already gonna win that war anyways when we did that?
Yeah, we'd already won. We did it as a last minute flex and science experiment. It was a flex on the USSR.
Somebody just really wanted to drop a bomb. Mm.
Yeah, well, we really wanted to.
We really wanted to.
We wanted to show the world that we had the most powerful nuclear capabilities.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, we sure showed them, huh?
We did. We showed them.
That's some messed up stuff right there.
Yeah, it sure is.
No wonder people don't like us very much.
Yeah, it's a wonder. Yeah, man. I've been watching. I just finished watching Man in the High Castle. Do you know about this? So it's a TV show. It's a Amazon Prime exclusive. Like, it's one of their shows. That is a reimagining of history. Like if the Allies had lost the war, World War II.
Mm.
It's written by my favorite author, or it's based on a book written by my favorite author, Philip K. Dick. I highly recommend it. So it's basically like the U.S. is split into the Western states, which are under the control of the Japanese, and then the Eastern states, which are under the control of the Nazis.
Oh, wow. I love Philip K. Dick, too. And he's an interesting guy just all around. There's another guy, a Facebook friend of mine, who's also a writer named Anthony Peake, and he's obsessed with Philip K. Dick. And
oh, nice.
You should look into his work as well.
Yeah. Always down to learn about some local authors.
He's not local.
Oh, he's not local.
But he's on Facebook. But he's from England. But he's just the stuff he talks about. It's not really for this podcast, but you'd probably find it interesting. Just the weird connections and things. And
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on a sci-fi trilogy right now. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Like writing it?
Yeah, I'm writing it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you used to be a journalist. I guess you still are a journalist in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. I went to OSU and majored in journalism, and right after graduating, I went and worked at a couple newspapers for a couple years, and was very quickly disillusioned with the whole thing. So, yeah, I'm an ex-journalist. Yeah.
Where's a good source for like reliable news now for you, having gone through all that? Who do you consider the bullshitters? Number one, I think I know the answer to this, but number two, who do you think is someone that you can count on?
Well, see, and therein lies a lot of the problem. It seems like most people are grifting. It's not necessarily about like which news source is the best. It's like you got to like trace back the money. Like Washington Post is owned by Bezos.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Fox News is a hot pile of garbage. But that's not to say that some of the local Fox writers are, that blatantly like they're not everybody is Laura Ingraham or Tucker Carlson.
Right.
It's really hard. I try not to stick to any one news source. I think that's kind of my trick.
Yeah.
Is I bounce around I Google and I use like aggregating websites like whatthefuckjusthappenedtoday.com is a great kind of like aggregates everything that Trump has been doing since he took office. Somebody's going to take that website and just like make like a book that goes day by day and shows all the unprecedented shit that's happening.
I can't wait for Melania's book. That's going to be awesome.
Oh my God. It's going to be so readable.
They're going to get they're going to get divorced.
Oh God.
It's gonna be so readable.
Yeah.
They're gonna get divorced. The story is they were gonna get divorced before the presidency had. There's that whole rumor, which I mean, don't they look like a cozy couple though?
Ugh. Have you seen the video of of like Trump trying to hold her hand?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so funny.
Or there's a couple ones where like she's sitting behind him, and he turns and says something to her, and you can see her face just change. Like he obviously said something. Like if he's willing to say those things into a microphone in front of millions of people, imagine what he says to people one-on-one. Like just that. I got my kid calling him a mustard-stained bastard. So
nice.
Something about him, he just reminds me of mustard.
Yeah.
Just kind of tangy and gross looking.
Cheeto man bad. Cheeto man bad.
Cheeto man bad.
That's the liberal mantra. As long as they just keep saying Cheeto man bad over and over again, though, that's their entire platform.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, speaking of another platform, have you seen the Settle for Biden campaign?
No.
Oh man, this is pretty good. I'm gonna pull it up here. Let's see if I can find the website.
Feel free to write us and comment stuff. Say whatever you want, guys. You can even be abusive. We can take it. We want the abuse. We're gluttons for punishment.
All right, so this is the Settle for Biden campaign here. It's time to settle.
I can't wait till someone says something mean to us. Come on, guys.
Biden isn't fantastic, but Trump is far, far worse. See? Orange man bad.
Who made that? Is this a real thing?
Dude, I am pretty sure this is a real thing.
God, that just, you know what that invokes in me is such a feeling of excitement for the future. It's time to settle. That can't be real. Settle for Biden. Come on.
She settled for Biden.
That can't be
so
real.
Can you. And then I believe, I saw some pictures.
It's got to be a parody site.
Oh man,
doesn't it?
It seems like it, yeah. But
are they getting that blatant?
They had a picture of Angela Davis that said she settled for Biden. So can you? And another one with Noam Chomsky says he settled for Biden. So can you? And I thought it was a parody thing. I thought it was like making fun of that whole idea. But
we're not sure.
From what I'm seeing, it's a real thing.
Claiming it.
Yeah.
It is confusing right now because you have like Nancy Pelosi, and she, of course, Trump is soon going to be blaming the Democrats for the whole reason the next incentive package. The heels, well, the Republican one's the heels one, and we got the Democrats got the heroes. But the heroes are still trying to fight for the unemployment to be at 600 a week, and the Trumpsters want it to be 200. And Nancy Pelosi is basically saying we're not signing off until they at least do that, and so. She's apparently performatively fighting for us, but behind
at the
same
time, we're all not getting stimulus or even $200 a week.
Right, or we're not getting health care during a pandemic, which they voted against.
Of course they did.
And that's a lot of gestures. Like when they would do the thing during the whole, during the protests where they'd be like kneeling and like doing all these things showing we're in solidarity with you. It's like, no, we just want you to pass a law.
Yeah.
Like pass laws.
Yeah, we don't want solidarity.
No, we don't want these performative gestures.
Yeah.
These fake narrative, inauthentic bullshit.
A bunch of bullshit. I went to the About Us section on the Settle for Biden campaign, and it says, Settle for Biden is a progressive grassroots organization comprised primarily of former Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren supporters.
It seems like probably a joke, right?
We don't like all of Joe Biden's policies, but we recognize that he is running on the most progressive platform in American history, and that not supporting him would literally endanger the lives and livelihoods of millions of Americans.
Huh. Weird. That's a weird one.
That the most progressive platform in American history? No. Just no. That's not true.
No, it's not.
What? I don't know.
It seems weird. I'm gonna have to.
That's just a blatant lie.
I don't know how I feel about all that.
Ugh.
I mean, God bless you guys for trying. I don't want Trump either. Like we said last episode.
Of course.
We just want. Can I read a thing real quick?
Yes, please.
Because this is something that came from. Just something I saw going around, but I found it to be interesting. I don't know how great the source is. But
Garrett says, "Cuck for Biden."
Cuck for Biden.
Cuck.
Thank you, Garrett. Thanks for writing, Garrett. Keep coming at it. Insult us with something. Make fun of my facial hair. I just want to get some action going here.
Garrett added, FDR was such a centrist. Yeah, Biden. I don't know if all of our listeners are aware of this, but Biden is more progressive than FDR.
Oh wow. No, you're
yeah, I'm
okay.
joking. Yeah,
I took that. I'm sorry. I was thinking about this. Now that I listen back to what you said. So this is someone that whenever we ask why are Trump supporters still supporting him after all this, which, he could kick a baby in the face and they'd find some reason to.
I mean, he literally said that he could shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue and people would still vote for him. Well, he's literally just taunting people.
He's had to have killed people. I mean, with his words and things. I mean, we know
his policies. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are dying.
Yeah.
Can't tell that to my buddies back home. They won't believe it. But this is a guy from the Ozarks, and he's going to explain it, and this makes sense. And this is why I don't know if I want to call people liberals currently right now as some sort of attack, because it aligns us a lot with Trump's. I'd rather just call them moderates or centrists, because I don't think Trump supporters understand that nuance.
Oh, they surely do not.
They surely do not. But every time I call someone a liberal as sort of an attack,
they automatically assume that you're a Trumper.
And I want to separate myself as far away from that camp. I don't want to give anyone any ammo to say that I'm anywhere. Speaking of ammo, we'll get to the NRA right after this.
Are you arguing with liberals though? Because if they automatically assume that you're a Trumper because you said fuck the libs.
Yeah, I know.
Then that's only proving your point that they're like little pedantic.
It is totally proving it. But some people will be reading and they'll just see those words and be like, oh, Casey's turned into some conservative Trump supporter because they aren't thinking all the way through, which is their fault to think that way.
Yeah, that's their fault.
It is.
We should not be bowing down to the understandings of the liberals, because if we did that, then then we're liberals.
I know we are.
Yeah.
I'm policing my own. See, a lot of people call this a leftist policy to police people's language. Like if you listen to Joe Rogan and his buddies, they consider themselves liberals, and they think it's the radical left that police, because they're the ones that are like, call me by the right pronoun and all this stuff. So that's so confusing within our.
Joe Rogan is definitely more of a libertarian. Like
he supported Bernie though. He had him on, and he basically was saying, but
I mean, so the libertarians believe in like personal liberty, and of all the candidates, Bernie was most on board with that.
I guess that's true, because there was no libertarian candidate. Though a lot of there wasn't at the time, was there? Didn't they weren't they late to the game with bringing us? I didn't see anybody
I don't know when JoJo. I've only started hearing about JoJo, ever since Bernie dropped out, and people were like, well, I'm not going DNC, so I guess we'll go.
That's
JoJo.
That's when and I have libertarian friends, and some members in our band are libertarian, and they'll post stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see, because I kept wondering. I was like, who? Because I kept thinking there is no third party to vote for right now. Really, there's no Green Party. There's no Jill Stein. It just didn't seem like in 2016.
Howie Hawkins hadn't gotten the party nomination yet.
Though people are still treating Bernie like he was a
third party candidate.
Candidate.
Honestly, I wonder what would have happened if he'd run third party.
I know.
But anyway, I'm sorry, we distracted. You were reading.
No, this is just basically a guy from Ozark, and he's trying to explain why Trump supporters will never, talk shit about him. And he goes, y'all don't, I'm going to do it in what I imagine his accent is. Y'all don't get it. I live in Trump country in the Ozarks in southern Missouri. One of the last places where the KKK still have a relatively strong established presence. They don't give a shit what he does. He's just something to rally around and hate liberals. That's it. Period. He absolutely realizes that and plays it up. They love it. He knows they love it. And the fact that people act like it's anything other than that just proves that liberals are idiots. All the more reason for high fives all around. If you keep getting caught up in what do they not realize, blah, 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 and how can they still vote for him, blah, 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 you're not understanding what the underlying motivating factor of his support. It's fuck liberals. That's pretty much it. Have you noticed he can do anything he wants? Basically, they go on to say, these people look at any kind of emotions or feelings as weakness.
Yeah.
And they basically anything that shows sort of compassion, they think caring for the environment is compassion, weak, and it's just all that. Even though, It's caring for your own. Like, it's just how they can give their kids Mountain Dew all day long and KFC and not give a shit because it's like it toughens them up.
Of the moms giving their babies, their like infants, Monster.
Oh God.
Just making little Kyles.
You shouldn't even little Kyles.
Karen's just breeding more Kyles.
Karens and Kyles. A store for Karens and Kyles. That's a new sponsor I think we got coming.
Yeah, it's in the works.
Yeah.
We got a deal in the works.
That's just one of the reasons I was kind of thinking I'm going to be saying centrist moderate probably more because I just don't want to be aligned. I don't want to be aligned with, and it's fine to call them liberals, but I mean, I just don't want to be aligned with Trump supporters personally. That's me.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so if you look at that, you see that the Trumpers just want to own the libs, and that's all they care about. But are liberals really any better at that game? Because again, orange man bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Their whole thing is run on Trump is the worst thing that's ever happened to this country, and we need to get him out of there.
Yep.
And on today, on the 75th anniversary of Hiroshima, we have to ask: is Trump really the worst thing that? Truman, he killed 100,000 people in the blink of an eye by dropping a bomb just to like flex.
Yep.
And the reason why Americans, especially liberals, well, all of us, honestly, we're all victims of this mentality. If it happens outside of our borders, it doesn't matter as much.
Yep.
The fact that like 160,000 people have been killed from this virus is much more serious to us than the death of 100,000 innocent people in a completely unrelated city in Japan. I mean, because that's just Hiroshima. Because there was also Nagasaki.
It's easy. Like you can have a little bit of compassion, but generally it's like and they people forget about it, including myself. If there's an earthquake somewhere, I'll if it's not happening in this country, I do also kind of like, boy, that sucks over there.
Yeah.
Then I go back to watching whatever shitty show I'm watching, and I forget about it.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's no matter how we slice it, we all kind of are victims of to some degree nationalistic behavior and thinking.
What's he saying there?
So Garrett says, "Did you see the article stating the GOP owes Obama an apology?"
Mm-mm.
My God, see that is just some liberal shit. Like,
Also,
who the fuck cares?
Obama did not back any of these progressive wins.
Nope.
None
yeah,
of
he
them.
came out with 120 endorsements or something like that, and not a single one was a grassroots progressive.
No. If
not
that doesn't show you where the DNC is, like they
Yeah.
don't care about you, man. They're not getting backed by anybody but big money.
Big money.
Have you ever heard of Dave? I'm sure you've heard of David Foster Wallace. Right?
Oh, I love David Foster. I actually have a tattoo that is. I'll put it on camera.
Nice.
I have a tattoo that's a quoted ellipses,
Yep.
which is kind of. He's kind of well known for doing that. Anyway, that's a tribute to David Foster Wallace. So.
I'm kind of late to the game, but I hear it's kind of like a basic white dude thing to like his stuff, sort of like the Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
But that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm just stating I do like what he says because
Yeah.
one of the things I was listening yesterday to was there's a movie about him that's like
with Jason Segel.
Yeah. Did you like? I like that. That's the one that kind of got me into him. See, I didn't even know he was a real dude at that time when I saw that.
Oh, really?
And then I get obsessed with people that like kill themselves and just death obsesses me because it's where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
It's like looking into college. I'm trying to figure out like, so what do I got to do? What do I got to figure out here? But I just thought his death was really sad because like he couldn't, you probably know this. He couldn't get his like medication right and he'd gotten off
his
it
entire life.
Yeah. But he had a while there where it was working, but he thought he listened to the people that were like trying to get off of it and he did. And then he could never get it back, and then it just drove him nuts, which is really sad.
Yeah,
he was a really cool guy.
What makes it extra sad was just like I think like a month or two before his suicide, he went to a college. I'm blanking on the name of the college right now, but he gave like an inspirational speech.
Oh, I heard that.
About it's called "This Is Water." I highly recommend.
Yep, I just heard that one.
Yeah,
yep.
Maybe we'll read it on a future. Episode because it's
really
powerful stuff.
I didn't know that was his last one, man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It was. I don't know if it was the last thing that he wrote, but it was like
near the end.
It was definitely his last speech, and he gave it at commencement at was it Golden? Maybe I don't know. But yeah, it's really powerful, really sad because he goes off from that. He goes away from that and then goes and hangs himself. So
that's horrible.
Yeah.
Talking about David Foster Wallace. If you don't know who he is, he's interesting. But I just wanted to bring one point around that he made that I saw yesterday real quick.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the NRA.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm trying not to go off too many tangents, guys. I'm trying to stay more settled on this thing because I got ADHD or whatever the ADD, whatever it is now. I don't know what to call it. Just an overactive brain. Keeps me alive. Anyways.
High definition AD.
Yeah. There you go.
HDAD.
Is that what it means?
No.
Oh. So one of the things he's saying, one of the points he makes in one of his speeches, I think, one of his talks, is he's basically talking about how happiness and contentment doesn't really, it sounds weird, but it doesn't really make us that happy or content. The things that are surrounding us, the media and the things we choose to watch, he just shows how basically like media has become a parody of itself. Like even South Park, as enjoyable as it is and things like that, he said there used to be more heart in things where it actually had a point to it. But South Park, kind of like if you watch Family Guy, it just kind of makes fun of other pop culture, but never really leaves you with anything of substance. And we're starting to get more and more of this, which is fine. It's entertainment, but it's leaving us kind of hollow inside. Nobody's really getting inspired by our entertainment so much anymore. And not that there aren't shows that are good and there's stuff worth it, but
have you seen Midnight Gospel?
I love Midnight Gospel. Duncan Tressel's the guy that does it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the one with his mom at the end where he talks to his mom. That'll break your damn heart.
Dude.
He's a beautiful person, and I'm so glad he's starting to get some acclaim.
Yeah.
I got to meet him once. He was a really nice dude. Yeah. He waited after
he seems really cool.
Yeah, he did a podcast or one of his live podcasts, Duncan Tressel Family Hour. He did it at Woodlands once. Bobby D got me and Bob Dawson, but he waited to the end. Like there was a line of people for hours talking to him, and he went and talked. He waited there patiently and calmly and talked to each person. I hear Penn and Teller do that too, but if we ever get anywhere, but my point is just this: I don't think going for comfort and going for status quo happiness really brings happiness. I think where happiness comes is when we challenge ourselves, and this is so hard to do, and I am lazy as shit, but I'm bringing it around to this podcast. This podcast is not necessarily going to be super entertaining to listen to all the time because it's stuff I think we need to hear. There's a difference between what you need to hear and what you want to hear. And a lot of times we just go for what we want to hear.
Right.
And we're sort of having to get to the point where we got to go to what we need to hear. And we're going to try and spickle some comedy. Is that a word, spickle? We're gonna try and
I don't think so, but you heard it here, folks. Spickle. We're
spickling comedy all over it. And trying to be silly. I'll throw in some alien shit whenever James allows the conversation. But overall, we're trying to we want people to come together and start thinking about this shit.
Yeah.
And we're trying to just bring a voice forward. That's the main goal. Am I correct on that?
I think so. Yeah. And to like bring that same mentality into like kind of what we're talking about here. And this is going to be, like I said, every episode is going to have a different kind of pitch.
Yeah.
For this, but going off of what you're saying, the idea of contentedness not necessarily being good for the soul, I think that's another good argument for a Biden presidency maybe not being what this country needs. I mean, think about going back to, which is, their whole platform is going back to the way things were before. Things were not, the idea that Trump is the marker for this society being imperialistic, or being a police state, all of these things, that's not correct. That's just it's just false. So going back to the idea where everybody can just start ignoring the news again, where the news is just for, Fox News is just for, angry conservatives,
right,
and CNN is just for liberal yuppies.
Right.
That's not necessarily what this country needs. And I mean, it's in my opinion. I think this idea that we can mount we can push Biden into being liberal or being more progressive, I think that's a fool's dream. I just don't see that happening, especially when he's got the DNC. Or he's got the DNC on his side. He'll probably have the Senate and the House on his side.
Well, and there's also a reason that he's the one, because if you look back in history, anything that Trump is doing now, there's a paper that Biden was one of the people that signed to help do it.
Yeah.
To help jail people. All this stuff that's happening now.
Yep.
Biden was back there doing a thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention They had a think tank on how to stop Bernie, but they don't have a think tank on how to stop Trump.
Nope.
So just showing you who are they more. They put all their energy into stopping Bernie, who was on your side. As despite what you think of Bernie, he was the closest thing we have, man. Who knows? We'll never know what he would have done. Sadly, we got about 20 years to fix this shit, guys. If you think the problem's not, like, imagine how this quarantine took you by surprise, like that feeling of like, holy shit, like. Societies can collapse very fast. I was listening to this guy, David Cho, the other day. He was talking about, he's so amazed when he traveled around third world countries, how quickly a place can go from pretty cool to complete fucking shit. We're talking a matter of weeks. Mm-hmm. All it takes is some sort of, upsurge, some sort of coup attempt, and then you're fucked. You're fucked for years and years and decades. Yeah. And we may be going through that already right now, but when the climate change thing hits,
I mean, I would argue that we've been going through that for over 400 years.
We're just starting to really, it's starting to hit white people.
White people, yeah.
That's all that's happening now.
Exactly.
So now Whitey starts to feel it, and we're like, wait a minute, this sucks. Yeah. It's like,
and so their solution is, let's go back to where white people weren't affected and just be okay with that. Because here's the thing.
That's what Make America Great Again means, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I mean, these cages.
I never thought of that.
These cages on the border. All of this stuff, the 94 crime bill, this all can be traced back to Biden and his party. And, not to say that that there are progressives, there are. And I think we should be mounting, like Garrett and us talked about last time, or 2 episodes ago, we should be mounting an offense within the DNC, within the Democratic Party.
Yep.
That I think it's a multi-pronged attack that we need to be mounting, but I think just bowing down to Biden and the DNC is not the main solution. It needs to have more than just that.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying don't vote for Biden. I would never tell anybody how to vote.
But realize we don't have time for this shit, man.
Yeah.
We got 20 years.
Yeah. I think
20 years if we have that.
Believing that Biden is the answer, and actually believing that and thinking that's all we have to do, is foolhardy, and you're dooming us all, I think.
Well, Dave Chappelle said it best. I watched last night. They were saying, people were yelling, or he had like a Q&A. I found this thing, and someone asked him, why don't you talk shit about Trump? He goes, because Trump means nothing to me. He goes, Trump has been...
You just have to let Trump talk. You don't have to even
And not only that, he goes, racism and the KKK have been around forever, and he's just a symbol of that. He goes, talking shit about Trump changes nothing. Doing anything about Trump, it changes. The people that put him in power are the ones that we have to worry about, and that's the difference between being a liberal and a leftist. A liberal thinks that if you get rid of Trump, everything's fine, and we realize Trump is a symbol, and you got to change America, which that's what we're trying to help do. How do we do it, though? Fucking I don't know. You tell us, Garrett. How do we change America?
Vote your conscience.
Yeah.
I think,
stay aware.
Be aware. Be constantly learning.
Be loving, compassionate.
And don't follow a single
Think for yourself.
Yeah, think for yourself.
Which they don't teach that in school. They don't teach you how to think for yourself.
Oh, no. Schools are factories for compliance.
Yeah. Regurgitation of useless knowledge.
All right, I'm going to read. Garrett said, thoughts on Chris Novoselic, Fair Vote Initiative.
Oh, I love Chris.
Yeah. Any hope of something like this, ranked choice vote, making third-party candidates relevant? To be honest with you, Garrett, I do not know about this Fair Vote Initiative. I'll have to look into it more.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can talk about it on Tuesday.
Anything
but that sounds interesting. I like what he does.
Me too. I like what he does too.
All right. Well, I guess we should get into our main subject here. So the NRA. I've got kind of a prepared thing, so I'm just going to read it off. Feel free to interrupt me, folks watching on the stream, and Casey. All right, so here we go. With nearly 5 million members as of 2018, the NRA is by far the largest advocacy group and claims they are the oldest civil rights organization in America since their founding in 1871. On Thursday, so that's yesterday for us in this reality, the New York Attorney General filed a suit with the intention of dissolving what she and many others has declared a domestic terrorist organization.
Huh.
She actually ran. She used that to run her campaign. She used that she was going to basically. She's like, if you elect me, I will be going after the NRA as a terrorist organization.
Oh.
So
who's this lady again?
So her name is Letitia James. She's the New York Attorney General.
Interesting.
Yeah. Among the litany of charges levied against the nonprofit, its longtime chief executive Wayne LaPierre is accused of raiding NRA funds to bankroll an extravagant lifestyle, even though he was already paid millions in direct compensation by the organization. And this is according to an article in the New York Times. AG Letitia James also named 4 current and past NRA leaders seeking tens of millions of dollars in restitution, with allegations of false reporting of finances to both the state and the IRS for incompetence and etc. There's a whole bunch of specific examples in there. According to the suit, over 6.5 years, a personal travel consultant for LaPierre was paid $13.5 million, largely on no-bid contracts. Private flights were chartered for Mr. LaPierre's wife and his niece. He took regular trips to the Bahamas on the NRA's dime, often spending time on a 108-foot yacht called Illusions that was owned by an NRA contractor and included a chef and 4 staterooms. He once put his niece up at a 4 Seasons hotel for 8 nights at a cost of more than $12,000.
And who's this dude again, just to be clear?
So I think he's the vice president.
He's up there in the NRA.
Yeah, he's a chief executive for the NRA. He's not the president, so I think he's just like the CEO.
But bad enough.
Yeah.
If he's getting away with that, can you imagine what the ones above him are getting away with? It's like
right. Yeah. I don't know very much about their president. I haven't really looked into it. To be honest with you, this is just kind of like going off of the news that they face dissolution at this point, which is exciting news.
And to be fair here, me and James both own guns. Okay, we are not against guns and ownership. Just for anyone who was thinking that, if you're listening. Correct. Is that okay that I said that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. No. Yeah. We'll be getting into that.
Okay.
More too.
Right.
So, Wilson Phillips, the former treasurer and CFO, failed to disclose a personal relationship that he had with the CEO of a company to which the NRA gave $1.4 million. So basically, he just handed his friend's company almost $1.5 million.
And why wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Who's gonna stop you?
Yeah.
Us? Me and you are the only two.
Yeah, it's just us.
It's like who's gonna stop them?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about this till today.
Right. I mean, a lot of people haven't. And yeah, we'll get into that as well, like what's happening.
When you control the media, then who's gonna hear the bad stuff about you, right?
Yeah.
When your money's everywhere in all the media. I mean, I'm sure the NRA's got their hands in most media.
Oh
right?
yeah, they're one of the most powerful lobbies.
Yeah.
In the country. Yeah, absolutely. And they're very, very easy. They very easily sway public opinion, especially when it comes to gun control. So after Wilson Phillips' retirement, he was paid $30,000 a month for consulting work that he did not perform, according to the complaint. He also spent gratuitous time on a contractor's yacht. This one was called Grand Illusion.
The Grand Illusion.
So the one that LaPierre was on was the Illusion, and this one is the Grand Illusion.
And just to break away real quick, wasn't Wilson Phillips a shitty band from the 90s as well? Didn't they make some song?
Yes.
Like it was that people. Okay, I just wanted to clear. I just had to get that out of my system.
Oh,
All right, keep going.
So the lawsuit accuses the NRA and the executives of violating numerous state and federal laws by enriching themselves as well as their friends, families, and allies, and taking improper actions that cost the organization $64 million over 3 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, right. And again, they're a nonprofit, right? So,
Wowzer Rooney.
Yeah. This all comes during a time of unrest within the organization, as donations have been down due to COVID. They had to cancel their biggest convention of the year, which
I'm surprised
they canceled it, right?
I'm also surprised the NRA aren't making more money, because I know a lot of people made a mad dash for guns.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're a lobbying group. They're not.
Oh,
They
oh,
don't
oh,
like
oh, oh.
own the guns.
Okay, I got
Yeah.
you. I'm
So
sorry.
the manufacturers are making bank right now. Which,
Right.
when I went to go buy my guns, I asked, the folks there like how much, and they said that the sales are up over like I think they said 300%.
Yeah, I heard that too. It was really hard when I got my gun to get a
Yeah.
gun. I think I got one of the last guns, to be honest. And to get
Yep.
bullets, man.
Oh my God! Every time I go in, they're out of bullets.
Yeah.
The only bullets I can get are for when I buy to go at the range. Like they keep like bullets to shoot at the range.
Oh, you can buy them there too?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go there with you.
Yeah, come with me.
All right.
Yeah, I shoot at this range. I have a membership, so I can bring a person.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, and then they have bullets set aside for the range. So
we're going to do a podcast from the range, so you're just going to hear us popping
really
off.
loud. So anyway,
we'll still be wearing headphones, so it'd be the same. All right, keep going. Sorry, I keep distracting.
No, it's fine. I welcome it. All right, so this all comes during a time of unrest within the organization, as donations have been down due to COVID, millions of dollars of legal fees from internal strife, and mounting tensions in the 20-year relationship between LaPierre and outside public relations firm Ackerman and Queen, or ACMAC as it is known within the NRA. So this firm, they've broken ties, and it's a whole mess, as you're gonna hear. Like, and the fact that they've been together for 20 years, since the 90s, and the fact that they've split, and they have subsequently fired a bunch of higher up executives in the organization for just like rampant corruption.
You're doing a good job at this, by the way. This seems like something John Oliver would tackle. I'm surprised he hasn't.
He might be working on it right now. So yeah, I'd be interested to see that. So ACMAC formulated, directed, and performed many NRA operations, billing them millions of dollars annually, more than $40 million in 2017 alone. Which included the cost of some of the cost of LaPierre's clothing. Okay, so he's using this company basically to rack up all kinds of charges that he can charge the NRA as like consulting fees, basically, while buying himself clothes, hanging out on yachts.
Is this the thing that I've been seeing around recently, where they're basically like, they're investigating all this? Is this part of that?
Yes.
Okay.
So they've been looking into this. There's been charges mounted in New York for the last several years. And that's kind of where a lot of the strife is coming from, because the New York State, which is where the nonprofit is based, has been asking for more detailed records.
Okay.
And that's actually and yeah, I'll be getting into exactly what happened with ACMAC. So the exact details of ACMAC's contributions for the NRA remain largely dubious at best, but the shady partnership seemed to come to a close when it became clear that there was an intense amount of undocumented overcharging that NRA treasurer Craig Spray, who took office in 2018, may have been reluctant to sign off on. So LaPierre was forced to ask ACMAC to verify their charges to the NRA, to justify themselves, even though he was the one taking advantage of them, allegedly.
Yeah.
Gaslighting. Well, basically just being like, they're the ones that did it. So they got to come up. It's up to you guys to come up with receipts for my shady doings. Which is funny, because if the suit went through, it would only highlight the misdealings that LaPierre himself was involved in. And Kyle from Colorado. Hi, Kyle. They said, can't even get a Glock. And I know, man. I went there and I bought just like a really small, like, concealed carry handgun. Just one that I can, it's just like an 8-round, 9mm. I like it, but it's a little small. And I've
like,
since,
is it one of those?
You pull back the slide. Yeah, you put the magazine.
That's exactly what I got.
Then, and then it only has 8 rounds in each magazine. So it's just a little guy.
Twinsies.
Yay! Let's go have a firefight.
Let's do it.
All right. And I actually wanted to get a bigger one as like my main sidearm. But they're all out of them. I was really my friend got a Ruger American pistol, and I really like shooting that gun. So,
are these your first guns you've ever owned?
I owned a 22 that my grandpa gave me, a 22 revolver. I think it held 7 or 8 22 rounds. But I no longer possess that.
I talked to a friend of mine yesterday whose father had passed away, and her father had a whole arsenal. He was like basically a prepper. And like about a year ago, or I don't know how long ago this was, but she basically had the family just get rid of all the guns. She paid someone to come just get them out of here.
Yeah.
And I was like, I bet you wish you had them now.
Yeah. Oh man, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. Did you hear my
And
stomach?
Kyle said we need to go shooting when I come visit. And
nice.
Heard that. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Kyle. You and me. We can put apples on our heads and we can walk 10 paces. Let's see here.
See who comes back a man.
And Kyle recommends for concealed carry looking into a Glock 43. Yeah. I like the Glocks that I've messed around with. The last time we went shooting, I think we shot a Glock 45. So, and it was pretty good. That's cool about the range too, is you can rent. I can like rent guns for free.
Oh, so you could try out different.
So you can try out different ones.
Nice.
Try before you buy.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Like a guitar shop.
Yeah. If guitars could murder, which they can, but only with sick riffs.
Right.
All right. So to make matters even murkier, I'm glad I chose that word to say murkier. Gonna have to remember that I'm reading this out loud, so I have to choose words that aren't as difficult to say as murkier.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
That's a tricky word.
To make matters even murkier,
yeah.
He hired a Democrat lawyer, William Brewer III, as his top counsel. According to the Washington Post, his small law firm billed $24 million in fees in just 13 months.
Dang.
At a ludicrous rate of nearly $1.9 million a month.
Jeez.
For fucking consultation. For LaPierre, in his suit against the ACMAC. So I think I might have skipped over that. I apologize, everybody. So the NRA is suing ACMAC for the verifications of the receipts that LaPierre built up on behalf of himself, and then subsequently sued them.
Jeez.
Which then
sounds like a great businessman.
Yes, he's very good. And the funny thing about Brewer, this is kind of an interesting thing. So he got a lot of flack from conservatives on this because, like I said, he is a Democrat, and most of his financial contributions have been to like big name Democrats like Hillary, and oh man, I'm blanking on the other big name. I think Obama as well, and only like a few conservatives that he's donated to. So
interesting.
So even the conservatives were pretty upset with this, and he's been using the Brewer, the law firm. They have their own PR team, and he's been using them. That's why using them instead of ACMAC, basically. So he installed his friends, his other friends into it, and this makes it even weirder. Brewer is said to have close family connections to ACMAC, being the brother-in-law of one partner and the son-in-law of another. So, moreover, he has been sanctioned for ethical issues by 2 different courts, most recently by a federal court in Virginia, where he was ejected from representing the NRA in court.
Wow.
So just to it's really hard to draw the picture here. But so LaPierre is suing ACMAC. Right? LaPierre was using ACMAC to get money for himself, or to bill the NRA to get items and luxury items for himself. And then the NRA said, "Yo, dude, I'm not signing off on this. We need receipts." And LaPierre asked ACMAC, ACMAC obviously did not respond, so the NRA and LaPierre are suing ACMAC, and by the lawyer that they're getting to sue ACMAC is a friend of, like a family member, basically, of ACMAC.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That is a
It's a
tangled mess
clusterfuck.
of wires.
It's a clusterfuck, and it's no wonder that AG Bars is going for it, because this is the perfect time to strike.
Yeah.
Because the iron is hot.
Yeah.
Hot. So I want to switch gears over here. So I wanted to, because we all know the NRA, I think, but just to kind of to illuminate on some like recent events with the NRA. That, of course, during all the Black Lives Matter stuff, they are, and like anytime there's an officer shooting someone, they're oddly quiet about it or dismissive or, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But like, just as an example, the spokesperson for the NRA, her name is Dana Loesch, responded. It was the only response they had to Philando Castile's death. And this was back in August 2017. She went on Twitter, and this was the only response they had, and blamed Castile, basically, of course, saying that he was in possession of a controlled substance.
Can you pull that article up?
Yeah. So he was in possession of a controlled substance and firearm simultaneously, which is illegal. Stop lying. So we're just blaming the victim.
Yeah.
Castile's
blaming.
death was awful and avoidable. Number 1. 2, carrying firearm with controlled substances, not lawful carry. Important. Not sure why that didn't occur here. Permit should have been out and hands not moving. And the cop should have asked where the firearm was located. All of this. So if you remember, Castile's his murder was live streamed on Facebook.
Yep.
Later, the body cam footage came out, and Castile did tell the cop that he was in possession of a firearm and that he was going to,
Yeah.
And then the cop freaked the fuck out, screamed, and started shooting him.
Right in front of his daughter.
Yeah.
Backseat.
It was his partner's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think they were married, so I don't think it was his daughter, but it's,
young child in the back.
Right. Young child in the back. And yeah, just murdered in the front seat.
Yeah.
So that's the NRA's response there. And
they're just, they're going to protect their brand.
Yeah.
That's all they're going to do. They get money.
Yep.
Obviously Republicans, conservatives are very much about the NRA because they associate the NRA not with money but with guns.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we just talked about how we have nothing against guns or gun ownership.
Yeah.
So it's not about that, but it's about the amount of money and the lying. It's just another political thing,
Oh yeah.
Guns are not the problem. It's
Yeah.
the corporations behind them. Everything's about the corporations, the money. Even if you're sitting here, if you're one of the many people worried about this next school year with your children, it's just so weird to me that it comes down to this. It's like we have people that are like fighting for the kids to be in school, people fighting. We wouldn't even have to do this if our country had done what every other country that are now having reduced numbers did. It all comes down to money. It's always back to the rich and the poor, the have and the have-nots. And all they had to do was give us a livable stipend, a livable stimulus, like Canada's doing. Yeah. I mean, Canada spends way less than we do, still way too much on their military.
Yeah.
But they were able to give $2,000 a month, and now they're fine. Canada's coming out of it. We, on the other hand, gave ourselves, about 1,000 something 3 months ago, 2 months ago, and now we're still fighting over $1,200.
One-time payment of $1,200.
Yep. And so everyone,
which was based on the federal minimum working 40 hours a week for 1 month.
Yep. And that's why everything is still going forward, because everyone had to be pushed back into these workplaces. Everyone, we're still having rising numbers.
Yeah. Did you see that today in South Dakota they're having a biker convention?
Yeah.
And that because South Dakota has always been free, that no masks will be required, and they are recommending using the social distancing policy, but none of it will be enforced.
Yeah, they won't give a shit. Once the alcohol and meth start flowing through there, they're not
Yeah.
gonna. Though I wonder if meth is sort of like a treatment against COVID. I feel like you can't get COVID if you're really high on meth.
I
haven't
mean,
tested that personally.
I'm going through that treatment right now. And so far I have not got any coronavirus. So
Yeah.
I do have a splitting headache, and I believe that there are aphids living under the dermal layer of my skin.
Yeah.
But other than that, no corona.
Yeah, well, that's good. You're so fucked up you wouldn't even know if you had the corona. That's one way to handle this, guys. Just get a meth addiction.
Yes.
So our governor got it, then didn't have it? We don't know.
Yep. So said he tested positive, and then got a more specific test, a more accurate test. And then,
so there's different types of tests?
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really know that. So
Weird.
there's the test that I guess the elite can get, and then there's the test that all of us plebes get. So that's nice. A lot of people are thinking that he did it to get out of meeting with Trump.
Yep.
With Herr Trump.
I have been hearing through some performer friends and people, there is some confusion. There are people that are getting back negative tests who still are definitely showing signs and getting sicker and sicker. So it's confusing for them because they're being told by work, well, you're showing symptoms, you're not coming in, but I got a negative test. Okay, but, you're showing symptoms. So that's just a fucking clusterfuck. They can't work.
Yeah.
So they're sitting around. I mean, these symptoms can last anywhere from 2 weeks to a month.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's had it this whole time, and she's still having lung issues and just not feeling great.
Yeah, I mean, that might not ever go away.
I know.
Yeah.
It's scary. It becomes a part of your life, man.
Yep.
It sucks.
Yep.
Wear your mask.
Yep, wear your masks. All right, guys, we're going to go to our commercials, and then when we come back, we're going to talk with y'all and maybe talk a little bit more about the NRA and probably talk more about COVID and Trump. So, a message from our sponsors.
Hey, guys. Remember 2016?
Wasn't that a great year for moderate music and ideas?
Well, it's back again.
Music for moderates, too! With remakes of all your favorite hits. Classics like Middle of the Road.
I just wanna be on the middle of the road. No changes gonna change. No changes gonna come. No change for me. I got the Bernie Bro blues. Why won't they stop talking to me? Then Bernie Bro's gonna lose. Get away from me, Bernie Bros.
The Centrist Shuffle, moving to the right.
Moving to the right. Moving to the right. No left, no more, 'cause we're moving to the right. Centrist Shuffle.
I don't want no riots.
I don't want no riots in my town. I just want clean water and friends to sit around and mess up my day or mess up my night with the silly little arguments and silly little fights. I don't want no riots no more.
Lesser of two evils.
It's a lesser of two evils, yeah, pick one. Doesn't really matter 'cause they're all gonna fuck you, son.
I don't want to try.
I don't wanna try. I don't wanna try. I don't wanna try for nothing no more. Scared of change.
Hey, let's compromise. Again.
Hey, let's compromise again.
Or who could forget this gem? Vote blue no matter who.
Vote blue no matter who. It doesn't matter what you want. Vote blue no matter who. We're all gonna have to give up. Vote blue no matter who.
You'd have to be some kind of moron leftist to pass up a deal like this.
Hey there, my name is Christy Johnson Sadler, and I'm the Paranormal Hypnotist. I teach people how to connect with dimensional energies and explore hidden knowledge and memories to create positive change in their life.
And I'm Alex, the not-so-important co-host and half-hearted audio engineer with an eager ear for the paranormal. Do you like listening to scary stories around the campfire? Or trading tales of intrigue around the water cooler?
Maybe watching Leonard Nimoy on In Search Of, or Robert Stack on Unsolved Mysteries.
Have you ever stayed up till 4 a.m., chain-smoking cigarettes, pounding energy drinks and Cheetos, researching the underhanded imperialist satanic reptilian plot housed in the underground Masonic-funded temples, hell-bent on suppressing the existence of Bigfoot while keeping the Ark of the Covenant at the bottom of Oak Island money pit in order to continue the status quo of the riot-inducing question of which way to face a toilet paper roll?
Wow. All that from around a campfire, huh? I think you need some new hobbies.
Don't tell me what I need. All I need is to get into Camp David, then find out who has the key passes to the Dolce Bay.
He'll be back. Catch us every week on the Supernatural Tendencies podcast, where we'll cover oddities, conspiracies, and things that go bump in the night. See you soon.
All right, guys. Thanks for sticking around through through our advertisements. So now I wanted to just read some of the NRA's comments that they've made through different mass shootings. So this is after. I'm just gonna throw this up on the screen here. So after the San Bernardino shooting that killed 14 civilians at an office party in San Bernardino. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe it's just San Bernardino. I don't know.
San Bernardino. I don't know. But see here that they said that Obama politicized the attack to promote gun control policies, adding that they are sick and tired of the president blaming the NRA for such shootings. Yet, and while it is a political thing to say it's the NRA's fault that these things keep happening, it is also the NRA that is lobbying mindlessly for making sure that there are no restrictions on gun purchasing, which I think most. I guess I can't say most sensible people agree that there should be gun control. There should be certain amounts of gun control. But I would like to believe that.
Yeah.
That I think having a background check, just even a basic background check, is sensible. I will say that my experience getting a firearm, and I don't know what this was about, but I went in and filled out the background check, and then they sent it in, and it didn't come back immediately. And so I had to come back 3 days later. So that's the, I believe it's called the Brady Law, if I'm remembering correctly, where you have, in Ohio, I don't know how it is in other states, but in Ohio, you have 3 days for the FBI to come back with a no, or you just get it. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Okay. So ever since COVID hit, and then especially when Black Lives Matter hit, gun sales went through the roof. And because of COVID, the offices at the FBI are mostly, are very, shut down like the rest of the country.
Yeah.
So this entire time, we've been having background checks being sent and them getting overwhelmed. And then 3 days later, people who may have been rejected by the FBI going and being able to get guns.
Great.
Yeah, right. Yes. So
that's nice.
Yeah. So who knows what the numbers are on that? I'm sure we'll hear at some point down the road when we write the story on this crazy year.
That's the kind of the thing. When a boat is like capsizing, you need the boat to stabilize again before you can go through and check all the damage. But if the boat never stabilizes,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're just like everything's shaking apart. We need to go through and start being able to. We need this shit to calm down so we can go through and start tightening the bolts.
Yeah.
But right now, like things are just going to get crazier.
Or don't calm down, let it keep getting crazier,
right.
and then overthrow the entire government.
Yeah, and that might happen. I mean, that's probably, Y'all wanted slow change. Well, look, because you kept fighting for slow change, you're gonna get real fast change. Okay.
Really? This is how you get real fast change.
And Dr. Phil, I'm trying to do a good Dr. Phil impersonation.
How's that working out?
It's a little Bill Clinton, but also a little bit Jeff Foxworthy. If you put
That's actually a lot of Bill Clinton. You do a pretty good Bill Clinton.
I'm pretty good at Bill Clinton. That's the only one I can do. My wife hates me for it. Hi, honey. I see you're watching.
All right. So after the WDBJ TV's reporter who was killed on August 26, 2015, in a live TV interview, Kaleon Noir, a commentator and web series host for the NRA, said on his show that Obama and Hillary Clinton were exploiting the emotional toll of the shooting to influence tighter gun control policies. And he said, they try to take advantage of people's ignorance about guns and their emotional response to horrible events to win votes and push an agenda that fosters an unhealthy dependence on the government. Okay, so there's a lot of things to unpack there. So they try to take advantage of people's ignorance about guns. Okay, so what is he talking about there? What is people's ignorance about guns? Do you have any idea what he's talking about?
Well, they kill people. You put bullets in them.
Okay, so those are all
true. You got
to
aim them right.
I just would love to know. I would love to know what people's ignorance on guns are. Like, who is confused about what happens with a gun?
Maybe children.
Oh, well, yeah, children, maybe.
But that's about it.
But, I mean, maybe even them not so much because, violent video games.
There's a lot of... Yeah, I think my kid gets what a gun does at this age.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, very small children.
Right.
Maybe that's... I mean, see, that's the thing. Like, that's the kind of ignorance that I would talk about in regard to gun ownership is not knowing how to properly handle a firearm.
Yes.
How to safely store
yeah.
and keep firearms in the house.
Yeah.
And to keep children away from firearms.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, is just negligence. Okay, yeah, I guess, yeah, Kyle says, he says that everyone assumes that a rifle is a full auto death machine. Yeah, and I guess the idea that owning a rifle just means that you're a mass murderer automatically. I guess that's probably true. A lot of liberals probably think that.
Yeah. Like, why else would you have it? But
yeah, I mean, I along with my handgun, I also bought an AR-15, just a 22 version of it though, not like the full size caliber. I kind of got it, just kind of like train with and just go plinking with it. But I guess the idea that just owning a gun makes you like a murderer is that is pretty ignorant. I guess you guys have a point there. But. Yeah, and then, okay, so he said their ignorant views of guns and their emotional response to horrible events to win votes. Okay, so that's silly too, because an emotional response to a horrible event. So he's calling for us all to have a factual response to a horrible event. I mean, how else do you respond to a tragic event?
Yeah. Have less empathy, please.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Just say that and act like you give a shit. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
We need to make money here.
And if we were to act factually, as in response to a horrible event like this, we would look at the numbers and see how many mass shootings there are in this country, how many gun deaths there are related to officer shootings.
Yeah.
And I mean officers shooting unarmed people, by the way, not shooting of officers.
Right.
If we took emotion out of this, I think they're still on the wrong side of the argument here. And again, we're not advocating for taking away guns at all. Like if anything, there should be the NRA should be for free training people before they buy guns. You know what I mean? That would be like a good nonprofit move for free, because we can't. Or like Joe Biden's solution of charging like a $600 tax. Did you hear about this? I think it was $600. A tax for people who want to buy guns. that they have to pay per gun.
Yeah.
They have to pay an additional amount of money. So what that does is it just makes gun ownership classist, and you're just taking guns out of the hands of the poor. And, which is, of course, going to disproportionately affect minorities and POCs. And fuck that.
Yep.
Fuck that. Fuck Joe Biden.
And that's another little tricky scheme.
Yeah.
They definitely don't want the Black Panthers coming back.
Yeah. Well,
Panthers,
they are back.
That's great.
Have you heard about this?
No, but that's great.
Not Fucking Around Coalition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, check them out.
They rebranded.
Yeah, they're not fucking around.
Nice.
Yeah, they marched around
the NFA is what it's called, right? What would be standing
NFAC.
for? NFAC.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay,
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a militia of black folks.
Nice.
Yeah, and they go around to different events. They were in Louisville.
I think I saw some video of them showing up to an event.
Yeah, I
just
shared some like live.
Yeah.
Some like live footage. That I will say though, to be fair and balanced, since Fox News isn't using that anymore. They are having some issues. They had a gun fire. It was unintentionally discharged, negligently discharged, and shot and injured at least 3 folks.
Uh-oh.
Yep. So that's not great.
No.
And then later on when they started marching, one of the members passed out and hit his head, and he was all bloodied and everything. So not a great day for the NFAC. But regardless, or irregardless, I don't know if you saw that got added to the dictionary.
No, I did
to
not.
the dismay of everyone in 2020.
I did not.
Maybe the worst thing to happen in 2020. Irregardless
definitely.
is now in the Webster's dictionary. So
Oh, my God.
fuck my life.
Yeah.
So irregardless, I don't even remember what I was saying anymore. I'm so mad now.
The
NFAC, yeah.
NFAC. They're having some issues.
Yeah.
But
But irregardless, yeah. I support them, and black people with guns is sexy, and I think we need more. I think we need to arm our trans brothers and sisters. We need to arm our LGBT, the whole LGBT community. We need to arm anybody who is trying to get a felony off of their record. We need to arm anybody who has been hungry recently.
That's a sexy army you're building right there.
Yeah,
Like, can you imagine that? Just a bunch of burlesque dancers and fucking artists.
Oh God, yes.
And
all with massive AR-15s and AK-47s.
gonna be hot. We're gonna look so much better than the Trumps.
Yeah.
The Trumpers.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. You go far enough left, you'll get your guns back. And that actually will bring me to my next point, because I think I'm done reading NRA responses to mass killings because it's too depressing. So, for those of you who want to be part of a gun advocacy group, a nonprofit that is actually standing up for gun rights and the people who I believe will responsibly own guns, I highly recommend the Socialist Rifle Association, and this is to quote from their bylaws, and it's on their about us page on their website. I highly recommend you guys looking into them. They also have awesome sticker packs. I posted on my Facebook yesterday. I should have brought some down, but defend equality with an AR-15 on it with the trans flag and the pride flag.
Some of the stickers you got there. Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, they're sweet, and I also got like a patch.
We should put one up somewhere in the studio.
Yeah, I should put it up over there. Okay, so this is from their bylaws. We recognize all aspects of self and community defense to include topics such as firearms, disaster relief, medicine, logistics, agriculture, general survival skills, and other pursuits necessary to unify and strengthen communities against the hardships of life under capitalism. We seek, advocate for, and advance an inclusive, safe, and healthy firearms culture in America to combat the toxic, right-wing, and exclusionary firearm culture in place today. We work to create a platform, environment, and community of members and like-minded individuals that are free of reactionary influences and prejudices such as racism, sexism, ableism, homophobia, transphobia, and other discriminatory ideologies. We maintain the necessity of and work towards the implementation of an anti-capitalist platform for protecting and promoting the inherent human right to defend oneself and one's community. And that right there, folks, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful. I like that little manifesto. Garrett jinxed with the same comments.
Apparently we both talked about their live fire incident.
And Jessica, I just want to tell you, you may be awful with firearm, but you got better at gardening, so it's just about practice. It's all about practice.
And Garrett said, in the 70s and early 80s, the NRA used to offer big discounts to gun training and range time. And they actually have been in previous times pretty advocating for gun control measures. I'm not saying the NRA is in its is evil completely. Any organization can work to do good things. Even gangs and drug cartels work to bolster their community, and it's the reason why they don't get ousted from their neighborhoods and stuff is because they're probably taking care of their people and their neighbors more than the government ever does. So it's not why we would say we don't condone cartels and stuff. It would be irresponsible to not mention the good that they do for their communities.
Right. Yeah.
But,
people loved. There's a lot of old mafioso guys that people, they'd put on picnics and have parties for the town people, the city, Chicagoans and everything, and people loved them because they were doing stuff like that, and that was true also with. Oh God, I always mess up his name. Narcos guy. The guy
oh my God.
The main dude.
Man, whenever you have a brain fart,
I know, I hate it.
Fart.
Happens to me and my wife too.
I'm just gonna look it up.
I know.
This is
Anyways,
embarrassing.
I know. Sucks sometimes just to forget
how does
his
it not
name.
have his name?
I know.
Oh my God, I'm gonna kill myself.
I always forget his name for some reason, but I love him.
Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar. Jeez.
My God. Okay.
Narcos, great show, by the way.
Yeah, it is a good show. It's very intense.
They had to shut it down because they started getting involved in real shit.
They had to shut the show down?
Yeah, that was one of the reasons they stopped for a while. I think now it's shut down probably just because of what's going on.
Right,
but
right.
I know one of their one of the crew people actually got killed down there. Some stuff. It was getting dangerous.
Garrett says that Michael Moore used to use his NRA membership as a political device all the time. And yeah.
How do you feel about Michael Moore?
I haven't really seen anything that he's done recently.
Do you like anything he does, or are you against him?
I used to think he was a blowhard. But there were some things in the Bowling for Columbine video that I liked back in the day. I'd have to reassess again.
I know I hear back and forth about him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like some of the things he writes. He's a passionate, great writer, but I don't know. I hear a lot of weird things from both sides about him, so I just don't know.
Yeah. He's definitely a divisive character.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have enough recent experience with him to have an opinion.
I liked how he interviewed Marilyn Manson, not Monroe. That would have been a pretty one-sided interview.
Yeah.
Okay.
So going back to I think to go back to what your wife said, that she would be awful with a firearm. It's a weird thing to hold that thing. And have you shot your gun?
No,
yet?
actually, my gun I have not even shot yet.
Yeah.
But last time I probably shot a gun was Camp Palmer, 6th grade. I have had guns aimed at me a few times.
Really?
By the same police officer, believe it or not.
Oh, a police officer.
Officer McDonald. He was a shaky old man. Two different reasons. One was because I was filming a movie scene where we were doing an attack on a woman, and she was doing too good of a job. And I was about to light the firecracker because that's what we used. And I heard freeze, and I looked over. We had a video camera and everything, and back then they were giant, clunky fucking things.
Right.
But he's standing there, and he's like, "If you would have lit that thing, man, I would have shot you, boy." And I was like, "What the fuck? We're fucking obviously filming."
Yeah.
And then another time we
unhinged, man.
Used to live in a skater house, and we had a party, and the next day we woke up, and the place should have been condemned. It was like a punk rock house, and this guy came in and thought we'd broke in and passed out, which no, we lived here and passed out.
Yeah.
But he had his gun drawn at me then too.
Goodness, you almost got Breonna Tailored, huh?
I know. Yeah.
Still, her murderers are still free, guys. And did you see that one of them went on a vacation? They
Yeah,
were
and then
at
they
the
started
beach.
getting fucked. Everyone's like
Oh,
fucking
they
with him.
roasted the shit out of his
Yep.
girlfriend. Yeah,
Mhm.
which good.
Leave him
Fuck that bitch.
alone. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's all freaking out.
yeah,
Our family's threatened right now. It's like, oh really? Well, they're still alive though, right?
yeah.
Fucking assholes.
Maybe when somebody breaks into your house and like threatens to shoot you in your sleep because they were looking for somebody who had already been caught.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
And then pin it on your boyfriend.
Roger and Me is a great film. That was one of his early works. That was a good one.
Yeah, but yeah, training is important. I've been trying to go to the range at least once a week. I'm getting a little better, I think. Like I said, my handgun is just like a really small like concealed carry. It's a Smith & Wesson Shield 9 EZ. I liked it because I went like when I was doing research about it, I went on to the gun. I got into the gun world on YouTube, which is horrible, and that's and that's why like I think the SRA is important and why the NRA is so stigmatized, because it's just these gun nut like your stereotypical redneck like sexist, misogynist, racist douchebags who are compensating for their lack of something.
To have to carry it around with you all the time, and to show it to like.
Yep. I mean, I'm gonna get I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get my concealed carry license, and I'm gonna start carrying with me.
But you're gonna conceal it.
Yeah, I'm gonna conceal it.
You're not gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if these protests get more. If they start getting more aggressive, I might open carry.
Yeah.
Eventually, I did actually buy some. I mean, this is how serious things are getting, man. Like I have historically been a massive pacifist, a masochist.
Yeah.
And I bought a tactical vest, armor, bulletproof armor. It was like that shit's expensive, man. It was like $300.
Wow, I'm gonna come hang out with you more.
Yeah, I'm starting a little mini militia, man.
There you go. And what does they say in the dude, the Lebowski film? He goes, "Pacifism's not something to hide behind, dude." It's like, I think a lot of people think everything's just going to keep going the way it's going, and we've seen how quickly things change. And I just want to be prepared. I've been stockpiling food. I don't want to get crazy prepper, but at the same time, preppers don't seem so crazy no more.
No, they don't. Maybe
they never did to you, but I know a lot of people used to make fun of them and things, make fun of the prepper lifestyle. I don't. But it's like the Buddhists, man. They in China, they got taken out by the Red Chinese, right? And they just were sitting around thinking they'd be okay to just meditate it away, and nope, they got wiped out. So sometimes you got to fight. Sometimes there's a really nasty virus coming at you, and you got to fight physically.
Yeah, I mean, the virus of ignorance, the virus of anti-intellectualism, the idea that maybe Antifa are the real fascists, and that is coming from all sides, man. We love to say that Trumpers are nuts, but Joe Biden, in his first interview after 28 days of silence, this was last week, I believe, he said that that anarchists needed to be arrested. He called for the arrest of anarchists.
What a jerk.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I'm an anarchist.
Yeah, he's
and
talking
I
about...
don't believe that I need to be arrested for having a political ideology.
And they've been taking people out of their homes apparently in Portland. I didn't get any more updates on that. I got to look into that. It's not making major news, but from some of the Facebook people I know that have been at the protests in Portland, there's stories going around that people are getting taken out of their homes. And so that's what we're talking about here. Like, it's just a mess.
Yeah. So arm yourselves, folks.
Yeah.
Oh, I never finished my story about getting the gun with the Brady law. So my report didn't come back, or did I finish it? Yeah, my report didn't come back from the FBI about my background check.
Oh.
And so I had to go back 3 days later, and I got it, and everything was fine. But when I went back to go get it, I brought two friends with me, and they both put in their. I should mention that my two white friends, my only two white friends, no, two of my white friends.
Yeah.
And they got their background checks, and they were done and out of there in like 5 minutes.
Oh, weird.
Yep. I mean,
so it's because the last name, the Garcia.
You know what? I don't know if I'm willing to play the race card on that. I have had issues in the past with someone in California having a similar name to me. But I mean, like, how common is James Garcia? That's got to be like
It's got to be pretty common.
yeah. So yeah. So that was a whole ordeal. But yeah. So arm yourselves, train. It doesn't do much good to just buy a gun, and because honestly, like I'm sure you'll find out when we go shooting, it's not just like point and shoot. Like I've got bullets where I'm like, okay, so I've got shots where I've got it all lined up, and then I fire, and man, a bullet is like out in the fucking like the white way off the target. You know, I'm like, how the fuck?
I'm waiting.
Did it go that far? And I'm shooting at 5 yards still, man. I'm still in like the baby zone, and I'm shooting this gun that the folks on YouTube said it was perfect for women. They said that they got those guns for all their wives and their sisters and stuff, and that's why I was like, I want that gun.
That must be the one I have too. Then is that the one we're twinsies on?
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty common style. That's just like the Glock style. Do you know what yours is?
I think it's a 33 millimeter. Is that what you call it?
9 millimeter.
9
probably.
millimeter. Sorry. Yeah. What is it?
Yeah.
What is a 33 millimeter? Is that the type of bullet?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, it is that's the caliber, but I'm not sure about a 33. I don't know if I've ever heard of a 33.
I'm gonna wait and shoot my gun when I'm drunk and jacked up on adrenaline and someone's breaking into the house. That's when I want to first learn.
I've got some meth for you.
Yeah.
I've got some left over if you want to.
I want to get methed up and just sit outside my house and wait for the shadow people to come and start practicing on them.
Unload. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I want to do.
And then in October, my friend and I, friend of the show, Alex and I, we're going to be going to Newark, Ohio, for a training program with the Appleseed Project. It's rifle training, so it's going to be like AR style. I believe the main focus of that is going to be so having it slung over in a passive position and walking. So going from that position to firing, so that like you can get better at like your aim.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I believe that's what we're going to be focused on. It's like a weekend long thing.
Oh, nice, man.
When's
that again?
It's in October 3rd and 4th. So I think there's a couple positions open if you want to get on it.
How much does it cost?
It's $65 a person.
Oh,
that's
not that bad.
And it includes like a T-shirt, and you do have to. I think the hard part for us is going to be they do recommend that you bring at least 400 rounds per person, and I haven't found any 22 long rifle.
Yeah, I don't have a rifle either.
Yeah, you can borrow them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they have a couple to borrow.
Well, that'd be a fun weekend getaway.
Yeah.
Get a T-shirt.
Yeah, you get a T-shirt, so it's worth it.
Actually, it is important to learn that stuff, man. I don't want to learn. Yeah, like I said, I made that joke, but I don't really want to learn like that, where I'm like, oh shit, this was a bad time to learn how to shoot my gun.
Yeah, right.
It's like the Bill Burr thing, where it's like when you have them all in different pieces around the house, you're like, honey, where's the scope?
Yeah.
Like
right.
the guy's chasing you.
Yeah.
It's not what you want.
Garrett said that we're kind of conflating passive resistance with prepping, and he still thinks that preppers are 90% idiotic. And I'd agree with that sentiment. I mean, there's nothing. I think there's nothing wrong with having food and like a good safety plan in case we're bombed by China or Russia or something. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I feel like it's a little bit reactionary, but definitely don't want to lump in people who are preparing for resistance with those folks who think that the world is about to come to an end. Although I did have a dream last night that aliens attacked. I thought about telling you about this because I thought you'd be very interested in this.
Well, have you seen where the government official that came out and actually spoke about how they did find an off-planet
like a base?
No, there's basically there's a vehicle they apprehended that they're admitting seems to be from off-planet. So I guess look up off-planet vehicle government. We can end this with a little alien talk, right? Give me like 5 minutes. But it all ties in, man. Whether aliens are real or not, or you believe in them or not, there's some weird shit going on with the disinformation. Yeah, there's this. The Pentagon has reportedly found off-world vehicles not made on this Earth. And the most interesting thing about this article is how much nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nobody. That's what everyone's stating. It is like we're just like people just are not interested. It's like yeah. That's not something I need to think about. I like to think about anything other than this stuff we're talking about right now. And that's just that thing we were talking about earlier about how important it is for my brain to listen to what you're telling me, because my brain naturally wants to go away into my little fantasy worlds of masturbation and alcohol.
Woo!
And YouTube
That's not a
clips.
fantasy world. That is a very real world.
God, you need to have some sort of break, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about the David.
A break from masturbating and drinking, or is that the break?
Sometimes I do need to break from that and go into different. Then it just becomes sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good combo.
There's different layers of sleep too.
Although if you do meth, you can masturbate and drink for much
God.
longer without sleeping.
3 days. You ever been awake for 3 days?
No, I have not. Woo! Really?
It's weird.
I bet. I mean,
Yeah.
you're like legally intoxicated after like 48 hours, aren't you?
Yeah. You start hallucinating.
Yeah, I
You
bet.
start turning your head and it's like it catches up with you. It's like
Oh, like the frames. Yeah.
like, oh, maybe I should get some sleep and eat some food.
Or not.
Or not.
Yeah. And Garrett said, try firing plastic range rounds with an M16. That it's awful.
I like this Garrett. This Garrett guy's got a lot of information.
Yeah.
Thank you, Garrett, for all your information.
And then you said you're describing Pataskala. Yes, that does sound like Pataskala. I believe that's when I was describing the gun nuts on YouTube. And then Garrett also recommends that we check out the view of the fifth column about preppers keeping millions of N95 masks in bunkers.
Oh. Fuck
Okay.
them. I don't know. I'm not here to defend preppers. I don't know a prepper. I got a little bit of food stocked away, mainly rice and whatnot, canned foods. But
I have a lot of lubrication, and
a weed.
I was gonna say weed, but I meant meth.
Oh yeah. Well,
The two drugs that I'm most well known for doing.
try getting an erection while you're on some stimulants, though. It's rough.
Yeah.
It is rough. You've ever done? You're a coke guy, right? Sometimes, or you have been.
Yeah. I mean, I dabbled. I mean, yeah, it was never like a huge thing for me because I mean it's just too expensive. It's definitely like a classist drug for sure.
And now there's all the fentanyl. It's like
Right,
I'm just not
and it's
interested.
scary. Yeah, it's scary. And plus now with COVID and everything, it's a little harder to find things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good time to stop doing drugs, but to continue drinking. I condone drinking at a moderate level. That's something I'm moderate about. I'm very centrist about my drinking.
I'm pretty radical with my drinking.
Yeah,
so.
that's good.
Yeah.
You have always been the more radical-minded of the two of us. Well,
all right, guys. I unless you have anything else that you want to say.
No, we're gonna film some stuff, so let's get to it after this.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We got some commercials to make. So we want to thank everybody for coming out and talking with us. Kyle, Garrett, and was that everybody?
Jessica,
And
was
Jessica,
one.
of course. Yes.
I saw
always
a
love
couple
Jessica.
new.
And Michael.
Yeah, Michael was watching, and someone else
Michael
up there.
said, I don't think we read their.
Oh, what did
comment,
Michael
but
say?
Michael just said attacked. I don't remember what we were talking about at that time, but yeah, sorry for attacking you there, Michael.
We didn't mean to attack you, Michael. Michael's a sweet fellow. Very good artist.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Hope he didn't feel attacked by anything.
Is probably like in the meme sense, right? Like
You know what? Maybe he was responding to where I was telling them to attack us. So maybe that was his way of being like, I'm attacking you.
that could be it.
That could be
Hopefully
it.
that's
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to feel attacked unless you're a liberal. Then I want you to only feel attacked.
Yeah, but only to, hopefully to change your thoughts.
Yeah, like
or
get
at least
better.
open up your
Be
thoughts.
best.
Be best, guys.
Yeah,
Listen to Melania.
yeah. Everybody
Be
should be
best.
listening to Melania right now.
Yeah, her book's coming out. I guarantee it. She'll make $20 on that thing.
Oh man, undeserved $20. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to arm yourself, stay safe, train yourself, and take classes, and be kind.
Oh wait, hold on, real quick.
One thing.
I think we might have gotten. Oh, I thought it was someone else. It was him. I think he's making fun of us. Okay, Doomer. I thought it
Garrett
was a new
said,
name.
I'm starting a podcast for weak-ass Democrats with 2 vamps. Okay, Doomer.
When I first saw that, I thought it was a different name, so I got excited. I thought we got attacked right at the end there by someone else. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, we're signing off.
All right. Yes. Have a good one, guys. Wear your mask.
got an interesting bubble.